What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fan Theory. Today we've got an unboxing of a statue, a custom statue by Xionart of one of my favorite characters of all time, Revan. In this case, it's Jedi Knight Revan before he becomes Darth Revan. I love this and I'm excited, so stick around and you're going to be able to watch this really cool statue revealing. So, like I said, we have ourselves a custom piece of Revan, one of the characters that has now become canonical. We're going to get to the history of him in just a moment. But I want to first start off by thanking Xionart for this custom piece. I mean, it is absolutely outstanding. If you like what they see, they have plenty of pieces. I want to thank Abdel from there. He's an excellent artist, and I love the pieces they go very bold. They do very cool things. And this is just, I mean, this is a grail for me. It's one of my favorite pieces of all time. And I'm going to leave the link to his page online if you want to follow, and maybe you want to get a statue for yourself. I can't recommend them enough. But today we're going to review this statue. But before we do that, I want to encourage you that if you like what you see in the channel, like and comment below, subscribe to the channel. We've got videos going up at least once a week. I'm trying to get more often as they come in, but little by little, we're going to be growing more and more. We're at 335 subscribers. I'm really excited to see how we're going. If we get to 500 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So please subscribe to that channel if you like what you see and you want to see more. So, who's Revan? I think a lot of people that aren't your average Star Wars fan would have no idea who this is. They will say, that's a cool character, but he's clearly made up, right? Well, I guess all characters are made up, right? Well, Revan is a character that spawned first from the Qatar series, or the Knights of the Old Republic. I remember playing these games when I was young on the original Xbox, and you got to actually use him as a playable character. And his story starts almost 3,995 years before, or BBY, which is the battle before the Battle of Yavin. Okay, that's the battle that obviously that they destroyed the Death Star the first time. Okay, that you see in the movies. This is almost 4,000 years before. So this is not to be confused with the Mandalorian timeline, which is about 5 years after the Return of the Jedi. This is way before that. And he's a very integral character in the reference of how he was in the battle of the Mandalorian conflict. He was the head of that. He was born in the Outer Rim, which that's where the Mandalorian takes place, is in the Outer Rim. So now if you have an idea of where it is, it's in the Outer Rim. And he easily grew to become one of the most powerful Jedi in history. Till eventually, down the line, him and his friend Malik were going after a certain emperor by the name of Vitiate, a very dark and powerful Sith Lord, and converted them to the dark side. This is obviously, when it comes to his power level, was huge, because he actually rose and became as the most powerful being in Star Wars universe even to this day, because he mastered both dark and light. Not just was a novice at one of them, was a master of each. And he eventually got rid of these clothes and became the Dark Revan that you see right here, Darth Revan, so to speak. He, again, long story short, he ultimately was turned back into being a Jedi. In fact, the Jedi captured him, wiped out his memories of his time as a Sith Lord, and let him become known as the Prodigal Knight. And he's, again, like I said, to me, there's a few Jedi in history that are, I mean, either up to his standards or as powerful or more powerful than him. But I believe Revan, to me, in my opinion, it's my opinion, blow up my comments if you want to, but he's the most powerful Jedi ever. Yes, that's even more than you Luke fanboys and Anakin Skywalker.
No. It's not true. That's impossible.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
And I do believe Anakin Skywalker and Luke are right there, 2 and 3. But there's no question that him, Darth Bane, these are characters that were just beyond powerful. I think Darth Vader was hindered by his suit that was just keeping him alive, but clearly the Emperor had different motives for his suit to keep him limited in power so he wouldn't kill that. Also, fun fact, Revan is one of the first introductions of the rule of 2 if you're a Star Wars fan, you know exactly what that means. That the Sith would be forced to kind of like have 2 at a time. There always has to be 2 at a time. So that's a little bit of history on the character. And let's get to the statue itself. Now, I love this statue. I do. I really, really like this statue. I love the pose that he's in. He's always in a dominating pose, as far as it's a museum pose, of course, which means that he's posed straight on, not really doing anything dynamic. Kind of like this is a dynamic pose, so to speak, because he's doing something, like my Magneto statue back there. And he is no different. He is in a museum pose, which again, it's showing the display of his 2 lightsabers. He has a Sith lightsaber and his Jedi lightsaber, which is the purple lightsaber. People thought that only, or amethyst lightsaber, if you want to get picky, those in the comments might blow me up. But Mace Windu is actually a very famous character to have a amethyst lightsaber. He also wields his lightsaber. These light up. I have to get the converted piece. It's I live in Miami, Florida, so I only have American outlets, so I have to get the converter. It's in the mail. So still waiting on that. But from what I read, what I see pictures on, it lights up beautifully. In fact, one of the channels I love following, named the Xtreme channel, I'll actually leave a link to the bottom there below. Hopefully he sees this. That'd be cool. But he actually has the other Revan piece that and he has a picture of it lit up. So really cool. The other, as far as he has the dark robed one. Everything else, it comes with this really cool Mandalorian helmet. That's really cool to see. And it comes with two other portraits, one with his face exposed and one with battle damage. I love this battle damage one. This is one of my favorite parts, the battle damage one. It's really cool because it actually shows him with no pupil. Some people don't like it without a pupil under. I think it's cool that maybe he lost his, like he became blinded in battle, and maybe he uses like force powers to kind of help him out with the vision. I think that's really cool. He's that powerful that I would love it. I love the details in his arm, his gauntlets, his I guess in Spanish we call it a faja, but his waistband that he's wearing there almost. But I love it. It's very leathery looking. I love the texture and design. I think Xionart knocked it out of the park. I would like to see a little bit more texture to the ground. We do see him a lot in conflict in beautiful scapes like Mandalore and different other planets. I think I would love to have seen like a greenish texture maybe, or even like, or maybe honestly maybe him having his foot up almost like in the Captain Morgan pose a little bit maybe. I'd like to see a little bit of that, maybe more texture in his boots. But other than that, I love it. Now the construction of it is actually it's not too hard. It was much easier than this thing. My gosh, this was a nightmare to build. But this one was not too bad. It took me 5 minutes, 10 minutes to put together. The only thing that's a little bit of a problem, but it's not a problem necessarily for me, but maybe for you it might be, is you have to remove the cape and the hood to attach another head. But I mean, it's 2 seconds to do that. I think it's not a problem. I love it. So let's get on to the review of it. So again, Revan statue by Xionart. I want to thank them again. I'm giving them a plug again because I think they're outstanding what they do. Thanking Abdel in particular. The shipping was incredibly fast also. Just for those people that are worried about shipping, this thing came like this. I'm going to give it, for me, the character for me, as far as, okay, my attachment to the character, I give it a 5 for sure. It's a 5 out of 1 through 5. It's a 5. I think it's outstanding. I love this character. It's my favorite Star Wars character of all time. This is not me beating around the bush. This is me genuinely saying this is my favorite character. It inspired the looks of Kylo Ren. A lot of people I've read theorized about that. I believe it. Look at his face. You see it. Actually, a funny fact about that helmet is actually it was stripped from a Mandalorian that he killed. So it's pretty cool. So 5. As far as pose is concerned, I'd give it it's a 4. It's a museum pose. It's always what it is. I love the 2 lightsabers holding. They do extend out, so if you're worried about that kind of mindset, you got to be careful. This statue, as far as size is concerned, I give it a 5 on size. It's not going to inconvenience like this one. This one doesn't fit in cupboards. This one does fit in cupboards. It can fit in your, if you have your Bestas or if you have a display, it'll fit inside a case with no problem. And with the white, it's going to light up beautifully in there. So I'm going to give it a 5 on that. It's about 20 inches tall, maybe a little bit more. about 20 inches tall, maybe about 16 inches wide with the cape. You won't display it without the cape, so what are we talking about here? With the sabers, right now I'm not displaying with the sabers, at least right now, because obviously I gotta walk in and out of here and I don't want to clip it. But once I get it plugged in, it's gonna be pretty much lit all the time and on a timer. It's awesome because you can put it onto a timer and you can have it come off whenever you're done with it. That's what I would recommend for these light up feature statues. As far as extras or like pieces you can exchange or attachments, 3 or 4. I mean, it comes with your exchange of heads. I love customs because customs gives you a lot. Just like, I mean, mind you, for these extra portraits, you know that if it was XM, you're getting, or excuse me, not XM, but if it was Sideshow, you're getting charged another $15, $20 for another head, or maybe another. I know for the Kylo Ren one, it's ridiculous. You get just a closed fist instead of his, which I'm not a fan of that. In fact, I actually canceled my order because of that. I thought that was a little silly. So, but anyway, as far as posability, well, obviously these don't pose. These are for the figures I do. So no, I think it's not going to be necessarily posing it. But overall, I would give it a 5 for me. I love this statue. I think the statue is amazing. But for me, the things I pick on it, for example, the ground, not much. I think it's the statue is relatively light because of that. So I'm not gonna hit it too hard. But I give it a 4. I give it a 3. I think it should have been definitely more texture to it. But again, that's up to the opinion. Some people love it, so I don't. That's why I'm not gonna zonk it too hard for that. But again, here we are with the Revan statue, Jedi Knight Revan. What do you think about it? Comment below on what you think, and give me your favorite Star Wars character. Comment below what your favorite Star Wars character is, and again, we'll see you in the next video. If you haven't watched the next one, please click on the link below, and you'll see more and more of what I got to offer. So anyway, as always, stay safe with the virus. Please take care of what you need to do, and love you, man. Love you guys. Have a great day, and like always, may the Force be with you.